Hello everyone, my name is Ozzy and welcome to another Euro 2024 episode on Football Talk Podcast. During the show, we'll be doing a high-end review of the quarterfinals that took place over the weekend, as there was certainly some entertainment in these fixtures and some big moments that will be remembered. I'll also then present the fixtures of the semi-finals and give you my thoughts / predictions of those games as well. So let's begin with the first quarterfinal fixture, and that was Spain versus Germany, which you can see on screen, ended at 2-1. Now, this was the game that I covered as part of my watch along because I thought it would be the better and more entertaining fixture, and I think I was right. What a game this ended up being. An unfortunate injury to Pedri led to De La Fuente making an early change in the opening 10 minutes or so. And there you go. Step forward, Dani Olmo, and what an impact he had on the game. Havertz had a fantastic chance himself to score with a header for Germany, but Spain responded with another attack through Nico Williams on the left-hand side, but Neuer makes a fantastic save on the near post. But then the opening goal came in the second half. Lovely play from Yamal on the right wing. He squares it to Dani Olmo, who matches his play with an inch-perfect shot into the bottom corner. Slightly off topic, but I'm so surprised that none of the big teams across Europe have tried to sign Dani Olmo. He's such a talented player and has been for a number of years now. He's very multifunctional, can play in the number 8 or in the number 10 role, and can also play on either wing. So I'm not sure why he hasn't got his move, but with these performances, I'm sure he'll get it in the near future. He's already scored a couple of times in the Euros, so he's definitely showcased himself as a great finisher. But back to the game, Germany certainly upped the level and produced a number of chances. Andrić almost equalized with his long shot, but it was parried away by Unai Simon. Then Füllkrug, who came off the bench, produced a sliding finish that hits the woodwork. Havertz, who for me had a poor game in terms of finishing, gets another chance or another bite of the cherry as Unai Simon hits a wayward goal kick. He tries to chip the keeper, but the shot had no finesse. Havertz literally went straight for power and it ended up going over the bar. But Germany finally managed to get the equalizer in the 89th minute. Great half volley from Florian Wirtz, who had a great impact off the bench. That goal allowed the game to continue and go into extra time, but the hearts of the home nation were smashed into pieces by another sub, and that was Mikel Merino in the 119th minute of extra time. Lovely cross from Dani Olmo on the left side, and Merino finds himself in acres of space and heads home the winning goal in the end of the game for Spain. The funny thing about that celebration was that I saw a clip on social media, and the celebration he did around the corner flag was the same celebration that his dad did back in the 80s. So quite a nice moment there for the Merino household. But for Germany, they almost responded like they did in normal time, but where they equalized. But this time, it was Füllkrug with a header. Now I was doing the watch along. I thought it was a free header, an easy opportunity for the striker. He was pretty much a free man in the box. But unfortunately, he didn't guide the ball with real intent, and the ball ended up going wide. Commiserations to Germany. They were certainly one of the most entertaining teams in the tournament. But unfortunately, in this fixture, their shooting really let them down. But a huge credit to Spain, who now progress into the semi-finals. Just a side note, in the last episode, I predicted a 2-1 win, for this fixture and said Spain would get the winning goal in extra time. So just call me Mystic Oz. Now, on to the next fixture. Portugal versus France. Now, I'll be brutally honest, this didn't live up to the bill for me. I had a feeling it wouldn't. I wasn't expecting too much from both teams, who for me have been under par in terms of the level that we're expected to see from them. But having said that, there were plenty of opportunities created in the game, but nothing as clear cut as you would expect. I think the closest team to scoring in the opening 90 minutes was Portugal when Rafael Leao squared it to Vitinha inside the 6-yard box. He had a shot from close range, but it was fantastically saved by Mannion. Having said that, Vitinha probably should have buried it, in my opinion. Then Kolo Muani had a fantastic chance with a half volley, but he didn't get the execution right. And then later in the game, Camavinga, who I've been crying out for to play in this French team, almost brought the deadlock, but unfortunately his shot goes wide. Then Dembele almost scored a sublime goal from the right wing, but his shot just missed the post. The game then goes to extra time, and it looks like no one had their shooting boots on. Plenty of chances, but not with real conviction. So the game heads to penalties. A lot of pressure for the French team, with Portugal's Diogo Costa being in sublime form in the last fixture, where he ended up saving 3 penalties against Slovenia. But fair play to France. They were cool, calm, and collected in front of goal, scoring 5 out of 5 penalties. But unfortunately for João Felix, it was his penalty miss that was the decisive factor, as his shot hit the post and went out of goal. So that means France are through to the semi-final. Now, they haven't been vintage France, to say the least, but they're getting the job done. They now face Spain in the semi-final, and what a game we have. And that's taking place tomorrow. So I will certainly be doing a watch along for that. So make sure to join me at 7:55 p.m. Just got a comment here from Daz, who says, big up Aussie, hope you're well today. Big up yourself, Daz. I'm doing really well, thank you. I hope you are good as well. Let's talk about England. As you can see, the result finished 1-1 in normal time, but England went on to win 5-3 on penalties. Now, is it coming home? I'm joking. Let's not start this chant, as it's getting a bit boring now. Whenever England play a tournament, it's the first thing you hear. So I'm not going to get too carried away or ahead of myself. But England managed to progress into the semi-finals after beating Switzerland with some good penalties. But before we talk about the shootout, let's discuss some of the key moments of the game. It wasn't as straightforward as England would have liked. England applied pressure, but not really creating any clear-cut chances. And Bolo has an opportunity where he holds up the ball fantastically, turns and shoots, but his shot is straight at Pickford. But then moments later, Mbolo managed to break the deadlock to give Switzerland the lead. Nice cross from Ndoye on the right side. It takes a slight deflection off Stones, but it ends up arriving to Mbolo from a few yards out, and he hits the back of the net with ease. But it didn't take too long for England to strike back, as Saka attacks from the right side, cuts in and hits a fantastic low shot from distance and finds the bottom corner. What a strike from the Arsenal man. Now the game goes into extra time, and England almost make it 2-1 through Declan Rice, as he produced a great strike from outside of the box. But Sommer produces a fantastic save to parry away. One of our former Liverpool player, Shaqiri, almost gave Switzerland the lead with an audacious effort direct from the corner. That actually ends up hitting the crossbar. Now, Pickford was smiling, but you can tell he was a relieved man. But England managed to hold on, and it was time for penalties. Now, great penalties from England. Akanji, unfortunately, was the unlucky man to miss his penalty and ended up awarding England a place in the semi-final. The penalty takers for England, Palmer, Bellingham, Saka, Ivan Toney, and Trent Alexander-Arnold on the score sheet. All players of ethnicity. How ironic, considering how much racism these players face when things aren't going their way. So all the racist fans for England that are out there, remember who's helping the nation win games. People were so quick to use Trent Alexander-Arnold as a scapegoat, even before the tournament before it started. Where are these clowns right now? Because they're awfully quiet on social media. So please respect Trent Alexander-Arnold. Support these players through the good and the bad time. It's easy to dish out abuse and have no repercussion. So next time, just think about what you say about these players. They are human and deserve to be respected. Another note, I noticed in the media there weren't a lot of pictures of the penalty takers as part of the celebration. Why is that? Underlining racism there. But, you know, it is what it is. It's a thing that things will need to improve in the country. But, you know, whenever England don't get a good result, it's either Saka or Trent, a player of entity, labelled as a failure and represented, you know, in a bad manner and also made into a scapegoat. So as a nation, we need to do better. And maybe not as a nation, as a society, everyone should be treated equally and with respect. So I went a little bit off script there, but the reason I'm saying this is because we've had this before in the past where England have progressed and, you know, they were unable to win the last time where we lost to Italy in the Euro. So I don't want it to be deja vu again if England aren't able to progress. So for people out there who, you know, emotions run high and they end up saying all sorts of stuff that they probably will regret afterwards, please watch your actions because, you know, you have to keep the same energy whether you win or lose. That is the art of being a supporter. You have to go through the ups and downs. Now, England will be facing a tough opponent in the Netherlands. The game will be taking place on Wednesday. The Sunday is the final. So you already know I'll be doing a watching on for that. It's the same time as tomorrow. So 7:55 p.m. UK time on Wednesday for the Netherlands versus England watch along as well. Just got a couple comments here from Mazzy474. Who do you think is the favourite, Spain or France without Pedri? I'll say French get through. I'll do my predictions. I'll give you a bit more detail. But yeah, who is the key man for the Netherlands and England and what will decide the outcome of the match? So I'll go back to your first point. So who are the favourites? I think you would have to say France are the favourites based on their track record. Even though they haven't been great this tournament, they've just found a way to win. Spain, I think, have gone under the radar and have probably surprised a lot of fans in terms of how entertaining they've been as a team. They are a team that are in transition. So I think the pressure is on France to win. So you'd have to say that on paper, France are the favourites. But I feel like Spain don't have any pressure. They can just do what they want. Whether they want to have that underdog mentality, it depends on their approach. But it's going to be a very exciting game. That's the one I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. And you also asked, who's the key man for the Netherlands and England and what will decide the outcome of the match? So for the Netherlands, it has to be the Liverpool man, Cody Gakpo. He's been fantastic on that left wing. He's been so influential there. He's been getting the key goals as well. I think the key for Netherlands is to try and keep the defense as a tight-knitted unit. So the likes of Van Dijk and De Vrij, they need to be on top of their game. They need to try and defend where they're not outstretched. You know, when teams outstretch Netherlands, you've got players like Van Dijk and De Vrij in the channels. That's not the area of the pitch they want to be. They want to be in the center of the park, taking control and making sure nothing goes through them. So for Netherlands, defensively, they've got to make sure they're set up correctly. And I think Cody Gakpo will be the key there. Xavi Simons is one as well that hasn't scored much in this tournament, but I feel like has had decent performances. Memphis Depay, he's done his thing as well. But Cody Gakpo for me is the one that can help Netherlands into the next round, or should I say semi-final? There's a bit more weight on that term there. But in terms of England, it depends what Southgate wants. He's been very cautious throughout the tournament. I think he's been cautious throughout his whole manager time as England as well. But it's not going to change overnight. So it will be interesting to see what he does formation-wise. Does he present it with a back three? or does he revert back to the 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, how he wants to tactically approach the game? I think he'll probably end up going with a back four, but it depends on availability of some of the players as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting in terms of the team selection there. But the key players for me, Saka had a good game against Switzerland, so he needs to continue his form into that game. Bellingham, I think everything goes through Bellingham now. Kane for me needs to step up a little bit. I think if it was another manager that was a little bit braver, you could see Kane being dropped, in place for Ivan Toney, who's had a real impact whenever he's come off the bench. So it'll be interesting. Maybe, another tactical approach could be starting Toney and Harry Kane together, maybe like a 4-4-2 diamond. I feel like that would really work. But then you have to drop the likes of Foden and Saka and all that stuff. So it all depends on Southgate in terms of the personnel. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. It'll be interesting to see what the formation is, what the team selection is, and once that happens, if you're joining me in the live watch line that I'm doing, we can discuss the lineups in more detail. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens for that fixture. Dad said, where can we pressure Holland, Ozzy? So as I just mentioned earlier on, the channels, I think Saka, if he's attacking that byline, he will definitely get a lot of success. You've got Dumfries as well in that team. So if Foden's not playing, I'd want to give Anthony Gordon a run out in this team, because I feel like his pace and his directness will be a problem for that Netherlands team. So I think the wingers have a big role to play in this fixture. If they can really attack the Dutch fullbacks, they're going to be in for a long afternoon. So I know Ake plays left back, but Saka is more than capable of doing good against him. So I feel like it's very important for England to utilize the wings, and that will present Harry Kane with a bit more space around the 6-yard box. He's dropping a bit too deep, in my opinion. So for him, he needs to stay further up top, around that 6-yard box, be that fox in the box. And then obviously the wingers can provide their crosses and creativity and let Bellingham work around the box. Because I feel like he tends to drop deep as well and play more as an 8. He needs to feel like an orthodox number 10, where he gets the game by the scruff of the neck, plays between the lines, and is a goal threat more than anything else. So yeah, it depends on the tactical approach for England. A lot of these players I mentioned, we've seen how they perform for club level. For England, it's different because they've got a different manager, different tactics. So if Southgate is a bit more braver, then I feel like a win is on the cards. But with a cautious approach, it might not work. So I'm intrigued to see how England set up and how they perform. So regardless, it will be an exciting encounter for both teams. Just got a comment here from Azrak Haq. Big up yourself, Azrak. He said, bro, Spain play the best football. France have the best players. As for Holland, they have a great attack. England have good players. So what do you think will happen this week? Thanks. Let's get into my prediction. So we'll discuss it in more detail. Let me just change the screen for you guys. So very well put in terms of the descriptions of all the teams. Spain do play the best football. They do. They have been. I think it was between Spain and Germany for me in terms of the level of entertainment and the way they play football. I saw a little clip of Yamal doing a training drill where they were just doing kick-ups. That's how they were like improving on their touch and their rhythm. So that shows you like their training regime, where it's all about the technique. It's all about the first touch, pass and move. So yeah, they've been a joy to watch, and they've got some really exciting players in this team. Yamal on the right wing, he looks like the next wonder kid. And you've got Nico Williams, who looks sublime on that left wing. I saw a comment from Laporte, the Barca president, saying that he's definitely a player that interests Barcelona, and Barcelona would like to sign him in the summer. Whether they can afford him is another thing, but it just goes to show how much of an impression he's had on the Euros. And yeah, expect to hear the names of Nico Williams and Yamal in years to come, because I feel like they'll definitely be mainstay in this Spanish team. But yeah, they definitely play their best football. France have the best players. You're definitely right there. They just haven't played well as a team. Now, it could be a tactical approach from Deschamps where he's been a bit more reserved in terms of not allowing the players to be too expressive from an attacking point of view. But for me, there's things like the selection of Rabiot. I'm not his biggest fan. I feel like Camavinga should be in this French team, and I feel like he will just make things tick a lot better, a lot more quicker as well. They're playing very slow-paced football, which for me doesn't really bode well because, like you mentioned, there's a lot of great players in this French team, so they're not playing to their best ability. But as true champions, they're finding a way to get the win, and they've got a knack for that as well. So it's going to be exciting, nonetheless. Now, in terms of my prediction for Spain versus France, I'll be honest with you, this might shock a few. I'm going for Spain. I think Spain might just nick it due to the way they play football. And in terms of my score prediction, I'm going for a 1-0 win for Spain. And the goal scorer will be Yamal. He will score his first goal of the tournament and break the record as the youngest goal scorer in Euros history. So that's the prediction I'm going for with that one. Now, in terms of the next fixture, Netherlands versus England. Now, the Netherlands, I think they've shown probably more than what some expected. I think this is another team that's in transition right now. Defensively, they've got Van Dijk, who is a colossal. De Vrij is a very experienced defender and has been doing really well over the years in Serie A. And then you've got some good young talents. You've got Xavi Simons. You've got Cody Gakpo, who looks like a different player altogether from what he produces for Liverpool. So they've got some good talent. They probably don't have a lethal striker. Memphis Depay is good, but he tends to drop a little bit deeper, so he's not quite a focal point. Weghorst does his thing off the bench, so they probably lack that killer in front of goal. But having said that, they still have a good team all the way around. They've managed to win games convincing as well, playing some really good football. So it's definitely one to think about. England, they haven't performed the best. Let's be brutally honest. But they're grinding out the results. They're getting that a bit of luck that you need in this tournament. Now, whether it lasts for too long remains to be seen. Now, in terms of my prediction for Netherlands versus England, I might be going against the grain here. I think it will be Netherlands that win this game. And I'm going for a 2-1 victory for the Dutch. And I believe the two goal scorers for Netherlands will be Cody Gakpo and Xavi Simons. And for England, I believe it will be Bellingham who gets the consolation goal. So that is my prediction. I'm trying to think in terms of my previous predictions. So I remember saying Spain, Germany 2-1, which I got exactly right. Portugal, France, I said 1-0 to France. So yeah, not quite there, and I said 2-1, I think, for Netherlands and Turkey. So I got that one right. And then I said 1-0 between England and Switzerland, which ended up being 1-1 and then led to penalties. So yeah, I pretty much got there in the end. So let's see if I get the semi-finals correct. So yep, not a lot of games to go. 3 more to go. So yeah, exciting. So we're at the end of the tournament now. So yeah, let's see how it pans out. And that is the end of the show, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Daz, Mazzy474, and Azrak Huck as well. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate your engagement as always. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. In terms of new content coming up, I'll be doing watch-alongs, as I mentioned. So tomorrow we'll be doing the Spain versus France watch-along. It'll be at the kickoff is 8 p.m. UK time, so I should be live from 7:55 p.m. and then the next day it will be the Netherlands versus England on Wednesday. So that will be same time kickoff. So I'll be live from 7:55 on Wednesday UK time. So yeah, make sure to tune in, get involved, send your comments through the live chat, whether it's about the game or anything football related. Yeah, we can have a chat and chop it up during the match. And in terms of other content, so I do have some transfer talk shows lined up this week. In terms of the date, that is to be confirmed. So the best thing to do is hit that notification on YouTube, of course, and also follow me on Instagram at Aussie.ftp, and then you can tune into my sort of short videos on TikTok as well. Before we go, just got some predictions from Daz. Daz has gone for Spain 2-1 against France. Okay. And then you've gone for England 2-0. So yeah. So in terms of that, yeah, so Spain we got the right sort of outcome, but yeah, you've gone for England. So let's see. I'm gonna remember these score lines. And then, yeah, we can see who got it right in the next review show. So yeah, thank you for your comment there, Daz. And that is it for today. So take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.